Hello everyone. Today we will see a series of lecture on robotics and automation. Okay, it is a course for the third year students of SNS College of Technology, and we are going to see the introduction here. In this lecture series, we will cover the first unit of the syllabus. Okay, the the course code is 19 ASZ 301. Robotics and automation for aerospace. So we are going to look at what is the basics of automation, industrial automation. Why is automation required? Okay, what are the elements of automation? Like what is a PLC? What are the input and output devices of a PLC? What is the basics of automation cycle? Okay, how do I calculate the return on investment of automation? We're going to also look at the SDLC, the software life development cycle, and the factory automation, manufacturing automation, process automation, and the need for all these kind of automations, and what is the difference between each type of automation, and the benefits of the automation. Okay, so this is what is roughly the content of the first unit of the syllabus, and let's get started. So, what is automation? As Wikipedia defines it, automation is industrial automation is the use of technologies such as computer software or robotics, okay, to control the machinery and processes which replace human beings in performing specific function. The idea here is here we must have a kind of a function. So the important things is like we should have function. What is a function that we would like to specific function that that we would like to work the automation. We would like to make the machine work for us, and then we are going to use either robotics or computer software to control machinery, whatever that we have that we would like to control them. Okay. The functions are primarily centered on manufacturing, quality control, and material handling processes. Okay, so generally the automation is more required in manufacturing companies where you have a lot of equipments which manufacture products, the components, etc. And then finally we do the assembly, we do the testing, and with the shipping, etc. But now before, so we do a lot of material handling also there. So here a lot of automation is required, and just to empathize why automation is required. Okay, a man is more a lazy animal, and then he would like to make the machines work for him. Okay, the effort put in by the human, we would like to reduce it, and we would like to make the machine work for us. So initially days were there when there was a, a big rock of stone, and then you would like to move it. So the first thing that he found out was that to use a lever kind of thing. Okay, so when I have a smaller stone, and then when I try to apply the force in the downward direction, I see that I'm able to spend more force to lift the object. Okay, similarly, like to bring the water up from a well, or a pulley, for example, to lift heavy objects, or an inclined plane. We would like to roll the object and then try to take it on a higher pedestal. Okay, we also use wedges sometimes, to do work for us. That the wedge, when it is hammered, it tries to break open. It's a sharp piece of element, and then when hammered, it tries to break open a wooden log. We also seen a lot of items like the screw from the bolt and nut example, where the screw mechanism is used to lift objects. Okay, so like screw jack, etc. Now, simple machines continued again on the empathizing, like why this kind of subject that we are studying, and then what is the importance of studying this subject. We are trying to learn the various elements of automation, so that we try to apply in our day-to-day life, or we try to apply in the aerospace sector or aeronautical sector, and then try to manufacture components which will be more cheaper, and which will be more efficient to work, etc. Okay. Now the lever is one type where you have the scissors there. You've seen the inclined plane. You have the wedge, the wheel and the axle or the bicycle. Then you have the pulley water and pulley to bring up the water. And if you want to pull out something, you screw it up and then just pull the whole thing. Like the corkscrew that we are just seeing there. That is very easy for us to apply more force and then take it out. Okay. Now these are some of the simple machines which we have definitely come across in our day-to-day life, as well as we have studied in our very lower classes like sixth standard, etc. And then, but the automation is basically built on this. Now there are four industrial revolution that we have come across as of now. We are in the probably in the fifth industrial revolution. Now each industrial revolution, pertains to a kind of a technology that caters to the the implementation or the usage of some kind of mechanization or a new technology, or it could also be like that enters the life of the industry and then it revolutionizes the whole thing. Okay, so the first industry 1.0 came when there was a lot of mechanization where we used steam and water power. Days where those railway engines etc. Were used. Those were the days where we had the industrial automation. Elements like gears etc. were all built at that time. The pistons, the engine, the connecting rod, crankshaft etc. All these things were brought in at that time. The industry 2.0 talks more about the mass production. When trying to do the same kind of similar kind of object again and again for multiple people for making of products etc., you go in for a mass production. During the mass production, things like transfer lines, assembly lines, etc., and the electrical power was basically used, where we had these conveyors where belt on which the product keep moving, and then it was much easier for us to transport material from here and there. Okay, like even in coal mines, they used to use all these kind of things. Now, Industry 2.0 brought in mass production. Industry 3.0 brought in an automated production using computers. Now, computers slowly came in, and then they started taking over in all the fields, and then how the IT systems and as well as the robotics entered for pick and place kind of objects, and Industry 3.0 revolutionized on these kind of things where we had FMS, etc., the flexible manufacturing system, and then the material handling devices, the various kinds of robots, etc., were all being used in Industry 3.0. The Industry 4.0 is interestingly is more on smart factory, where or this IoT, etc. IoT stands for Internet of Things, and probably very smart, where the data can be moved across the internet, and over the internet I move the data, and then the data transfer happens, and then so it doesn't require the carrying of data, etc. Now I can control an object from a remote place. Now that kind of smart factories etc. came up in the Industry 4.0. So we will stop here and then continue. We'll just revise what we have done up till now. We got an insight on the syllabus 19 ASZ 301 on robotics and automation, and then we tried to find out like what is automation, why the requirement of the. We tried to empathize on the requirements of automation, the various simple machine that we have already seen, that we know, and taking you from the known to the unknown. We knew that it is easy for us to produce components or get the work done using mechanized parts. We also saw about the four different types of industrial revolution. We will continue and then and uh, uh, and continue with this lecture series in our next episode. Thank you very much.